What's going on, everybody? My name is Coach Anderson, and welcome to our video on the 5 steps to learning. If you're watching this the day we posted it, happy July 4th, my party people. But in this video, we are going to get to, again, the 5 steps of learning because, long story short, there are too many people out there that think that they can go ahead and start doing practice test problems over and over and over again, thinking that that's the right way to prepare them for the test. And to be fair, it might work for some people, but for the majority, it just doesn't. And the reason why is because when you practice for speed and you try to go ahead and do problems over and over and over again, what you're gonna find is you're actually just memorizing the processes that you're actually practicing without understanding why they work. So then the moment that you see it presented to you in a slightly different way, oh no, I have no idea what to do. And then when you see the problem on the test, oh no, I have no idea what to do. So again, let's go ahead and get into it, my party people. We have the 5 steps to learning. Let's get to it. All right, my party people, so let's go ahead and keep it simple. Step 1, what's the first thing we need to do? We need to remember step 1 is work on one thing at a time. So many people try to go ahead and study too much at once, and think about it like this. If you're trying to learn something, obviously there's gonna be a little bit of confusion, there's gonna be a little bit of disorientation. So why would you amplify that by trying to do 2, 3, 4, 5 different things at the same time? If you're studying proportions, stick to proportions until you have it down. If you're studying distance, rate, time, don't try to introduce tax and discount problems. We want to stick to one topic at a time for the simple reason being that it takes less energy to learn. Think about it like this. If you're at home and you're trying to go ahead and clean your house, why would you go ahead and wash one dish, then go to the room, fold one piece of laundry, then go to the living room, throw one piece of trash away, and then start going back to the kitchen for another Come on, why would we do that? The best thing that we can do is stick to one location. That way we're not spending all that energy transitioning from one place to another that's not even complete yet, and then having to remember how far we've gone, and then try to see what we can do, and then go away before we're even done again. That sounds crazy, right? And it is. So step 1, make sure that you stick to one topic at a time until you have it mastered. Step 2, once you are finally there and focusing on one thing at a time, step 2 is gonna be, well, let's go ahead and take some notes. Let's understand the idea. Let's understand the concepts. Let's really focus in on understanding what makes this work. So if it's linear equations, y equals mx plus b, let's make sure we learn, okay, what's y, m, x, and b? What do they stand for? How do I identify those in word problems? How do I plug things in the right way? Because once you have those notes for yourself, the great thing is it works for the entire topic. So step 3 is going to be practicing with those notes. I'm gonna say it again. Step 3 is practice with your notes, not without them. You wanna have your notes right there as you familiarize yourself with the concepts. This is where confidence really starts coming in. Because when you practice with your notes, you can start going saying, hey, okay, I don't have to remember everything. I just have to focus on the main idea. Oh, this looks like a rate, and I know that maybe my notes say plug it in there. Okay, cool. Oh, B, what's that gonna be? Oh, that's this, I plug that in there. Practice with those notes over and over and over again until you feel like you actually have a grip, at least in part, of that topic. Because the next step after you practice with those notes, step 4 is gonna be practice without the notes. You wanna give yourself the opportunity to recall the information that you need, recall the understanding. That way you can, again, keep building that confidence up. Now that you don't have your notes, are you able to handle the pressure with no notes? And then after that, step 4 is practicing without those notes. The last step is practicing for speed. So many people try to take practice tests right there in the beginning, right? And I know this may sound like you, where you take a practice test over and over and over again. You subliminally remember those questions or memorize the process, hoping that they'll be on the test. But then when you see it, you have no idea what to do. And that's because we skipped steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. If we do steps 1 through 4 properly, step 5 is a beautiful thing. Because when you practice for speed, you'll be able to put yourself under the pressure and simulate the actual ASVAB environment without any risk. So you get to continue going over and over and over again, allowing yourself to rely on yourself to show what you know. And then you'll be able to basically point out where those holes are in your study game. And then you can go back, review, and keep improvising and keep adding on to your knowledge base. But if you try to practice for speed before you're ready, think about it like this. What's going to happen to someone who's learning how to drive for the first time, and we just go ahead and throw that person on the highway? We say, hey, you got this. Nah, screw a parking lot. Nah, no parking lot, no neighborhood. No, we're going to go straight to the highway. What's going to happen? You're going to crash and burn. So we don't want that. We know that that's the goal that we want to reach eventually, but we try to, grow up too fast. Things, they tend to go wrong. So my party people, let's go ahead and remind ourselves of the 5 steps to learning and see how much that helps you moving forward. Step 1, we want to focus on one topic at a time. If I'm studying proportions, don't study anything else until you're done with proportions. Master that thing. And how are you going to master it? Step 2, you're going to take those notes. You're going to watch recordings. We have plenty of them. And then step 3, once you have those notes and at least a basic understanding after watching someone else do it, practice with those notes. See how far you can get along. And then continue going and going and going. And then once you feel like you're up to it, take those notes, flip them over, put them away, and try without those notes. Step 4, again, without those notes. Step 5, practice for speed. No more notes, no more booklet. Start taking specific practice tests for that specific topic. And so for those of you in my program, you know exactly where to go for that. You have your arithmetic reasoning course, your math knowledge course, and everything else that you need. But there it is, my party people. It's a short, sweet, and simple video. We have got to make sure that we are following the 5 steps to learning, because this is the very, very best way to make sure that you waste as little time as possible and raise your score as quickly as you can. It's not about just being reckless. It takes a measured approach. So let's go ahead and commit to that, my party people, raise those scores, and get the jobs that we want. As always, my party people, I love y'all. My name's Coach Anderson. Make sure to like and comment if this helps you out, and then we'll stay tuned for the next video to continue helping you raise your score. Coach Anderson out. Love y'all. See you in the next video. All right, so you made it to the end, but are you feeling like, yeah, Coach, this video made sense, but when I try it on my own, it's not as easy? If that sounds like you, then what you need is a tailored approach to your situation, and that's what my full program does. I've been doing this for well over 5 years, I've been teaching for over a decade, and I've been here to help you and everybody else who wants to take their career seriously to get them to ace the ASVAB. I'm Coach Anderson. Sign up, show up, and let's ace the ASVAB.